This is a beautiful world. The reason why Sind.
That's the most random opening.
Is this world not beautiful?
This is a beautiful world. It's like a really random opening. That's okay.
It's because we're in it. We're taking over the mainstream, everybody. This is the one and only time we actually get to be for the two series.
Apparently.
But we're hopefully going to have ourselves one hell of a series. LGD versus Evil Geniuses. EG, especially now they've stepped up coming into TI. They had a great run at the Summit. A lot of confidence. Now up against LGD, who were labeled as one of the top 3 coming into this tournament. Yep. Maybe not as strong as everyone thought they would be, though.
No, they've been looking a little bit shaky. I think they're 5-3 right now, which it's weird to say they look shaky when they're 5-3. That's still a good score with the field of teams, but
you're expecting like 5-1 or 7-1.
Yeah, that's what people are probably expecting.
The same as actually EG, who are 7-1.
EG are currently 7-1, which is very impressive. That's another team where you go into the tournament. EG did great at the Summit. You're like, that's the closest tournament we have to this. How good are they going to be? People are like, yeah, but it was the Summit. Like, what does it really matter? They look great, sure, but... Yeah. Well, looks like it wasn't a coincidence. They're looking really good here as well. So they've carried in a lot of momentum, and yep, they look great. So this is actually a really important game for both teams because if EG were to take this 2-0, they would be 9-1. That's almost guaranteed playoffs already.
Yeah.
And for LGD, this is really important to push them up into being close to a secured top 3 position. So, yeah. A 2-0 for either team is big, and I think both teams will be pretty satisfied with a draw.
Yeah. I think... that way, at least they both hold their top 2 positions because LGD would love to have that number 1 position shared. But yeah, it's the upper bracket that everyone's hungry for. Both these teams, or at least they've 100% avoided the elimination.
Yes.
So no humiliation on that front. And having that at day 2 is obviously a great place to be. Draft time. Let's see how everything unfolds. EG, LGD. No IO, no Crystal Maiden. We actually saw some of the teams actually first face picking that. Nyx. Fun band to actually throw into the first 3.
I think EG wanted their Phoenix, and that's one of the heroes that Fly does not want to face, but he will not be getting it, so they'll be getting the Enchantress instead. We have not cast this hero yet, you and I. It's been banned every single game we've cast, I believe.
We had one Chen, but never an Enchantress.
Or I saw support Enchantress, but that was not in one of our games,
that wasn't ours.
Okay,
no.
Yeah.
There was a support ench. There was an offlane ench that was also picked up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
OG played a support ench, but that was not in one of the games we were casting. I just watched that one. Yep. Really powerful hero right now. One of the biggest strengths of Enchantress is obviously its laning, which is very important this patch. It's very hard to shut Enchantress out of lane. There's a lot of matchups she just flat out wins. And then come the mid game with the right itemization, you can actually transition into being a ridiculous anti-carry with Hurricane Pike, for example. Very, very high damage output in fights.
And one of the ones that she doesn't normally win is the Ursa, and that was banned out in the first 3 by EG.
Actually, nowadays, Ench does well against Ursa because of one key change. This is a hero she does not do so well against. We'll get to that in a second. The reason Ench can actually win against Ursa now is that the second spell got a Dispel. I think that's a couple of patches ago, so you can remove Overpower.
Okay.
So in the lane in the lane dynamic, Ursa will run at you, cast Overpower, you just purge it away, and then you can just run away or hit him if you like. But in the mid game, Ursa's still a problem because if he gets the jump on you and has a Basher, for example, you could just die from full health.
You're right.
But Clinks is a strong hero against Enchantress. I wouldn't say it's the best lane opponent, but in the mid game, the Strafe is great against Ench. It's kind of the same logic as with Ursa. If she has Enchant ready, she can purge it. But if Enchant is not ready, or if Clinks catches you by surprise, he kills you very, very quickly. And of course, if Strafe is running, Ench can't hit back.
I fear that our entire conversation now is going to move towards how do we purge the Clinks? How do we counter the Clinks? Like, EG have picked up a spec which has a very beautiful mouse on it, so obviously Spectre has no issue with rodents.
Correct.
But why
Please move the curses, Scriff.
Yeah, come on, Scriff. Pick it
we
up.
default to Scriff. We don't even know if it's Scriff.
No, I know it's Scriff. I know it's Scriff.
That's
Because Weapus was doing the early morning, and then Scriff picked up he's doing the last 2, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Get on your game, Scriff. But why so early with the spec? Like, do you feel like it's one of these heroes that can sit in the lane solidly with an Enchantress Baby just sitting it? And early on in the fights, like, do you see we had one spec game we cast, which was this really late game style build of Spectre. But how do you battle against the Clinks? Do you get early? Do you get Blade Mail? Do you get these type of items?
Yeah, I think that's the specific reason they picked Spectre right now, is that it's a pretty solid hero against Clinks when you get a Blade Mill. It's a matchup that he doesn't like because Spectre gets up nice and close very quickly. At any time Clinks wants to open the fight, you can just Reality on top of him with Haunt and start hitting Clinks. If he fights you back and you have a Blade Mill, he loses. So that's a bit tricky. Blade Mail's duration is longer than Strafe, so you can't really, like, you just wait until Strafe is activated and then you Blade Mail, and then you win the duration basically. As far as support Enchantress goes, it is an option, but I believe every time EG has had it, it's been S4. I think it's been 2 games now. I'm 100% sure he played it once against OG. But we'll see what they plan to do. When it comes to Spectre, it's a pretty solid laner. It's been buffed. It's a lot better in lane than it used to be, but it also has some really terrible lane matchups, one of which is the Ursa that has been banned out, and now they banned the Necrophos, which is also great against Spectre. So trying to secure RTZ, who is probably going to be playing that, as good of an early game as possible.
Now the only thing we're missing is a fly hero, right? Phoenix is out.
I'm missing a couple of other heroes too, but yeah. What will Fly play? Oh, Wyvern got banned too. Yeah, now it's getting interesting.
You did say
they have targeting him really hard, actually. There's 5 straight support bans from LGD, and a little bit more of a mixed bag from EG, mainly cores. 1 support ban in the Nyx.
So the last 4 games, 3 of them Fly has played the Crystal Maiden, and 1 of them he's played a Phoenix.
Yep. Not getting any of those.
And before that was Phoenix. So the last 6 games has been 3 CMs and 3 Phoenixes.
Okay. And what was?
We go 8 games, and it's it's 6 CMs and 3 Phoenixes. Fly will have to play something different.
Oh, that's homework. They banned all of Fly's games in the first phase. Yep. Actually.
Well, he's always one of those players that never really, like, it's always been like Witch Doctor or Dazzle or Phoenix.
Yeah. It's a pretty chill guy.
It's a very consistent group, very small grouping.
I agree. I'm trying to think of what route he could go. I think Lion, perhaps, is a hero we've seen Chinese teams start running. Could be a hero that Fly would pick up.
I'm wondering if we actually get to see SD as well.
Shadow Demon is an option.
One of those purge heroes we're talking about that works really, really well against Clinks.
Yeah, I feel like just theoretically Shadow Demon should be amazing against Clinks. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Give me some of that. That's the first Pudge game I see, which surprises me. I thought this hero would be picked more. He's just entertaining. He's a great hero.
Who's the team that picks it up against every single magical nuker in the mid lane? They run up mid. God, now my.
There was a game where Windstrike played it in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
They had it on Iceberg.
Yeah, it was Windstrike, and he played it 2 times during the qualifiers, and it was always up against a magical nuker. But the fact you pick it up 3rd.
That's a Fly hero.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There we go.
The fact you pick it up 3rd before you see everything coming your way, who's he looking to control? Like, is it just the Dismember hold onto the Enchantress and you rot through her and let someone else do all the work?
It's a bit hard to say what exactly the plan is until we see a little bit more, because I think they have some pairings with Pudge that they would like. And they're just buying time to get more information about the course that he plays with. Because I think Pudge is relatively flexible. As long as the laners he's with are strong, it's good enough. And in this case, you hook the Lich, for example, and you have the Weaver with you. That's a dead Lich.
Yeah.
There's a subset of position 5s that hate getting hooked. As actually, Maiden is one of them. So if they were planning on the Pudge the whole time, they could have chosen to give that away. But
there's a lot less spam on the hook, though. Like Pudge was nerfed a little bit with that hook. I said a little bit. That duration, the cooldown now is so long for a Pudge.
I think this is a really good Tiny pick. Whether it's going to be Crit playing it or whether it will be S4 and they put the Enchantress as a 4, which is also an option. Tiny is very good in this game from his ability to burst the Clinks. Clinks obviously reliant on that strafe, as we've mentioned before, and Tiny doesn't care about it. He has a lot of single-target bursts. It's a good hero at killing off Weaver for the same reason. I believe we saw a game earlier today where Virtus Pro actually had the Tiny against Secret, and Secret had Dragon Knight and Weaver as 2 of their cores, and Tiny was very powerful in that game. So we'll see how it goes. And now, final ban from LGD will be the the Storm. And the reason is we've seen Storm Spectre as a duo, both from VP and from EG, and both games were won. by the Storm Spectre team has seemed really powerful. Storm Spectre jumps in, starts the fight. You get the vision of Spectre, or you can do it opposite order. Spectre haunts, so Storm can find his target.
Seems like a good hero as well to chase down like Weaver. Like you don't have
Yes.
that highly maneuverable hero from EG just yet. Like you got that initial jump, be it from Haunt, be it from Toss, but beyond that,
Yeah.
not that much.
It's also a good target ban against Sumail. If there's a patch where Storm is good, Sumail will play it. And
Yeah.
it seems to be powerful right now. A lot of teams are running it, so if you have nothing else to ban or nothing else that you're really worried about, it just seems like a really good choice in general. Just get it out.
Well, they banned the Husker, so they don't want any kind of griefing like we saw earlier today.
Yeah, we saw Sumnus play Huskar against Windstrike as a great last pick, and he just took over the game really quickly.
Yeah, there was no one that could lean against him. That was also because he picked it 5th, and it was into the Zeus and a Tuskar pickup. So...
hang on. Sumail Tiny then. Sumail Tiny crit Tusk, yeah. It's going to be mid-Tiny, and they'll play Inch offlane. For sure.
Okay, well there's a little bit of a saving grace in case someone does get initiated on.
And that's why they banned the Huskar, because that's an awful matchup for Tiny. But I feel like when you look across Evil Genius's course, there might be a little bit of place for a great last pick here from LGD. I would see this as a pretty good, for example, Timbersaw game could be interesting, perhaps.
It's an Alchemist. We're alcheming this.
Not sure how much I like this. I think that lane matchup is really good for Tiny. It should just, on paper, be very easy for Tiny to deal with the Alchemist. And when the game goes on, sure, if Alchemist gets to farm, he has great teammates to give the Aghanims to, which we can't forget. There's 3 amazing Aghanims in this team. Weaver, one of the best in the whole game, arguably. The one on Venge is super good too, and the one on Pudge, also nice. But I don't know if I kind of don't have the feeling that this game is going to go that late, that we're going to be looking at multiple Aghanim Scepters, so I don't know how much they're thinking about it.
Yeah. And like with most of the games anyway we've seen from LGD, like they're very willing. Actually, it wasn't with the other teams. Like they just pick up the Aghanim Scepter anyway on the Weaver. Like it's worth spending the money. Like the Alchemist is going to need the life to be able to stand his ground against Arteezy.
All of EG's heroes are glowing blue, man. They're all just glowing blue, except Tiny has no.
I can't see it. FY's big fat butt is in the middle of the screen. I cannot see the Clinks. I cannot see the Weaver. And the way he came on, he was basically swinging on a star.
Yep. That's Pudge for you.
Yeah.
He takes the spotlight. It's a great hero. It's really fun.
Yeah, he's the guy that doesn't need the Arcana because he's got so many damn sets.
But he has it anyway.
He has it anyway.
Doesn't have the green one, though. So I guess he hasn't been playing much against Rubik. That could be because nobody plays Rubik this patch, except Yapsor, and then he loses.
Wow!
They might have won, actually.
Right,
I'm not sure. I think I saw them lose a couple of Rubik games.
You can't get that kind of crap to your former teammate.
I'm just kidding. He's a great Rubik fan, so obviously, if Rubik is a good pick, you will be seeing Secret run it. And I think even if it's not a great pick, they would try it anyway. But as far as I've been aware of the games we've seen, we cast a Rubik game too where Rubik lost. That was against Windstrike. IG had it on Baboka in that game.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, let's get a feel for our lanes right now, so we can bounce through LGD, where they start down on the bottom lane with your running Clinks, taunt away Arme. FY is supporting as the Pudge. Want to see how his effectiveness is. And the mid lane, Alchemist, played by Somnus. Off lane, Chalice the Weaver. Xnova supporting as the Vengeful Spirit, who was like the support hero of this patch, it seems. And they'll be having to battle against Arteezy up on top lane, who at the moment is by himself. And everybody else is down on bottom lane. So it's S4's Ench, it's Sumail on Tiny as you expected, Flies Lich, and crits Sumail. That wraps us up.
Yep, looks like EG are trying to set a trap here with 4 heroes, and well, for now LGD are not falling for it. We'll see if they end up doing that eventually.
LGD just spamming their taunt buttons and waiting for it to come off cooldown. They don't even think they care about runes. And they can always just Pudge hook it if they want to.
This is a very good observer ward that the EG side has managed to place down here. In the anticipation, probably, that this is a safe lane Pudge support. Pudge will want to try to hook into the tree line and into the tower in this area, but with that ward, it covers the area really nice.
The shards, it blocks in Arme, and he pulls up S4 with the hook. There will still be multiple runes coming in for Evil Geniuses.
2 per side.
It is. Fly and Sumail were able to pick one up each.
Now, one concern I have for this EG lineup in this game is that I think their safe lane is super weak. Like, Lich Spectre is a very abusable lane, and they're playing against Venge Weaver, who should easily be able to pressure them a lot. So EG will probably have to expend a decent amount of gold on regen in this lane. They already have flasks and tangos, but probably going to need a little bit more in the way of that to sustain themselves. Lich is a very unuseful support until level 2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. When the Frost Blast can finally come in, like we had a Lich and Zeus lane, which with the Arcane boost, like they were able to spam Frost Blast, Arc Lightning, Bolts, and then they were able to at least stand in the lane. But yeah, in this one, like how aggressive can Arteezy really get up against Chalice? You've always got that jump off. X-Nova for some reason standing on top of a Dire Observer ward.
He was checking if the camp got blocked and instantly sentries it out.
Yeah. So he's got his side camp to pull over.
Yep. And this is something that is really good to do against Lich, right? Because what Lich will do is he will sacrifice creeps, and that means you will naturally push into their tower. And when you do that, you want to pull that hard camp sometimes. So they give themselves the option to do that this way from minute 2 onward. Now, what EG did accomplish was that Fly sacrificed a creep and then gave the full wave to Arteezy. So Arteezy got a fast level 2, and he's looking okay here. Probably going to have to use his first salve. I have another one to go. Oh, I got... No, that just barely didn't get broken there by X-Nova.
Just out of range with the Wave of Terror. Bottom lane's having more fun. FY and Arme are standing heavily in the lanes. There's still more consumables available. Like Arme hasn't had to use his salve just yet. In fact, all of them apart from like S4. But he's got Sprite stun up on top. Arteezy under attack. But Chalice as well as X-Nova not healthy enough to dive Arteezy underneath the tower. They're not that strong just yet.
Sumail will get the room. Oh,
Toss him.
This is bad news for Somnus.
Actually, he can do a lot of damage here. Sumail got the bottle charges as well. So if he can wait a little longer, 4 seconds, and with the extra movement speed underneath the tower, there should be first blood going the way of Sumail.
Super important for Sumail there to have both spells ready. He needed that perfect chaining of Avalanche into Toss to get the range and get the rune that maybe really wanted to steal away from him, but didn't manage, and this is a huge advantage in the beginning for the Tiny in the mid lane. Full level advantage.
Chalice ran back into this. Like, they think he has enough, but no, he does not. Fly. One more Frost Blast available. They're trying to battle to get the Weaver Bug off the back of Arteezy and have his armor returned to him. X-Nova, Magic Missile. He has 9 stick charges, and he's going to commit it with the Wave of Terror. X-Nova gets the rebuttal kill onto the core.
That's so much gold. Oh, Fly's in trouble too. If that stun comes off, yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah, it's coming off. Underneath the tower, now the TP comes in from Sumail. And Chalice, he doesn't have Swarm back just again. Not yet, but Chalice is staying underneath the tower. Lich will begin his TP over. And X-Nova's cut a small path through. He doesn't have a lot of stick charges to work with, but they'll back out now.
As far as this bottom lane goes, this has been relatively quiet for now. Both teams seem to be getting some decent farm. Slight lead for S4 and the Enchantress, as is to be expected with this lane matchup.
And they're really trying to beat into Arme. As now he's locked inside, FY can just hook him back out again, but then the snowball, it brings in both Crit as well as S4 underneath the tower. FY is going to rot and slow him down. They're both very, very low. S4 cops most of the tower hits, and Crit, last one to kill off the Pudge. Arme is going to need a little bit of consumables, and they'll probably be brought in by the Pudge.
Oh, they're trying to dive him, though.
Oh,
this would be a really big kill if they find Ame. Yep, they see him.
And there's your shards. Locks him in. Crit needs more vision. Actually needs a mana. He can't snowball in just yet. Ame attacking up to S4 reveals his position, but FY's returned to the lane. He doesn't have any consumables. Doesn't have a salve, so Crit just a one punch. Doesn't even require the Walrus punch. Doesn't lose his life. Snowballs up to the creep in the lane and then away to safety. Hook! Latch him and pull him back in again. That escape from FY. Not available anymore.
Very nice hook. It makes a world of difference for Pudge to just get 1 or 2 kills in lane. It's a totally different hero when you just get... You see he's got the boots. Now he's probably going to either go in for an Urn or Tranquils and a Magic Stick probably along the way. And it just keeps you so much more relevant across the map to have this little extra influx. I think it's one of the supports that actually benefits the absolute most from these situations arising. And he got all the gold because his Clinks was dead. So good for him.
Oh, Sumail Double damage rune running in towards the mid after Somnus. He's got the avalanche, needs to toss him back. Oh no, just throw him up. Is this going to be enough damage to finish the job with the tree toss? It's going to miss. Somnus jukes down. And Samael, he's bottling. He's trying to stay close. Toss is coming back off cooldown. If he can get the vision, he can go for it. Meanwhile, up on top is Fly being chased down by X-Nova. Samael, how much are you going to commit for this? Underneath the tower, one more hit. He needs a creep, and he got it. He'll kill off Somnus. The damage from the tower will be enough to kill Samael in return. But a kill is a kill, and he goes the whole way.
That is one of the most ridiculous dives I think I've seen in a long time. If there was one TP from anyone on the Radiant side, they could have just got that Samael kill from that overextension.
They're going again over onto our mate S4. The rot from FY is actually causing a couple of problems with the level 2. He's got a hook of Valve, and that's heavy damage into S4. Crit wants to keep the chase going, but FY body blocks it so Arme can turn around, get the Searing Arrows into the Tuskar, and revenges LGDs, even though EG were the instigators.
This Pudge is going to be a problem, I think. He's almost level 5, minute 6. Just got another 2 kills to his name. That will turn into strength later when he gets the Flesh Heap, and I'm just curious to see what item build FY goes for, because people play this hero very differently in terms of itemization. Looks to be the Tranquils for now. Has bought them with that Ring of Regen, and another 500 gold could go into, as I said, an Urn or a Stick, or maybe just tries to rush a mobility item like Force Staff or Blink Dagger.
It just seems like an easy way, too, where you can just run into the lane and harass S4 out no matter what, and the trade will always be good for him. Doesn't require sprites or anything. Samael's gone hunting again. He found Somnus. He killed the Alpha Wolf, so we can't toss the Wolf forward. And, not again. Not again. VS will TP and then cancel it this time around.
Somnus is not having fun.
He's just, like, normally you just want to back off and farm one of the side lanes, but that's actually what he does underneath the shrine, but Samael knows this. It's not like Samael doesn't know how an Alchemist is played. He'll come in and beat the crap out of him with a piece of bark. There's splinters all over Somnus for how many times Samael's just connected with the tree, doesn't find the kill. 80 HP will be there, and Chalice and X-Nova have rotated in. Samael, have you bitten off more than you can chew? Tosses X-Nova away, but because he's got the Swarm on him, no armor to work with. Fly's looking for a rebuttal kill into X-Nova, but that will not happen.
There's been no one in the mid lane for a minute now. It's actually just creeps hitting each other in the mid lane.
I thought he almost fortified the creep wave too to try and push it back, like LGD fortified to try and say, yo, Samael, remember you got a tower in mid.
Yeah, that's pretty weird stuff, honestly. This is not something you really see very often anymore. There's so much emphasis on creeps and playing the lane, but Samael has this basically anti-carry mentality that if I just shut down Alchemist, my own game doesn't matter that much anymore. I would rather that we both suffer than that we both have a good time. So
well, how do you win the 1v1 matchup if you let the Alchemist go into the jungle and just let Grievel's Greed kick in?
He has the one thing you can do with Tiny in this situation is just push the wave really fast and start hitting the tower with your tree. And if Alchemist doesn't go and defend, he feels pretty bad about losing his tower. So that's one way to do it. But, well, looks like Samael's going hunting again. Oh, Somnus doesn't have any of that. He's going to port back to base.
He has a haste rune and he managed to deward the Observer Ward. That's why he wants to go
bottom
in deeper.
lane.
Bottom lane, yeah. That Snowball coming in, waiting for FY, who's waiting for the perfect hook. It goes a long way down, but he'll pull S4 up and support's arrived. Chalice does his TP and FY already up to level 6, able to get the Dismember, which gives you all the control you require to kill off both of EG, but rotation of Weaver comes down. And then they deny the tower as well, so less money in for Evil Geniuses.
Look at Samael in mid.
What is he?
He's cutting the wave. He's just trying to be as effective as possible about pushing so that now he can try to rotate down and mess with Alchemist. But
he's always staying where Somnus is, and now he gets a double avalanche into toss. There will be a little bit of a hit back, but Chemical Rage has got some time, but there's no acid spray.
Samael can't kill Alchemist during his ultimate. There is no way.
He's killing the tier 1 tower in mid lane because of how he's playing this.
Yep.
So they fortify it up, but Fly and Crit, they do their own rotation. Shards fly forward. Somnus is trapped. Has no way to get back out of it. Samael will cut a tree for him by picking it up, but that's just more damage in for Evil Geniuses. Tossing up Somnus, so he'll fall, and a huge swarm. X-Nova, everyone's come in. FY with a pullback into Dismember onto Arteezy. He wanted to haunt in and find a kill, but all he found was his own death. Chalice can chase down Crit, and he cannot get the block off. Chalice is just way too quick. Even an extra body block for him. Shikuchi off cooldown, and he'll run through and then destroy this Tuskar. Wait for it. Up towards the creeps. Crit. He doesn't have an... Okay, yeah. You're dead. Dead.
I really like how LGD are playing this game. Just they know what EG's mentality is going to be. They know that they will be hunting Alchemist, so they protect him with a lot of heroes. Well, EG, if you want to bring a lot of heroes to this Alchemist, we're going to counterplay you. We have super strong early fighters. We have a Pudge, we have a Weaver, and we have a Vengeful Spirit support. So if you come into our jungle, we're going to fight you. We're not going to let you get these kills for free. And this time, sure, I mean, you got the Alchemist kill, but it cost you 3 heroes, one of which was Arteezy on the Spectre. So absolutely not worth it for what they got.
Sumail might be a little annoyed as well. The TP from Fly came in just a little too early, so he never got full bottle charges out from Fly. So he's going to come into this engagement with Half-Life, but Half-Life may be enough, especially when you got 3 players ready to fight. Arme caught in the corner, Avalanche and Toss, both from Sumail, throwing S4 into the mix, and Arme will go down.
He was the one hero who's been getting a lot of space from everything that's happened. He hasn't been involved yet, but EG identify that that is indeed the case, and they will shut him down for a little bit now. So, good move from them. In the meantime, however, they
Hook!
did...
Got him! Got him totally.
See ya.
I like how Somnus just walks away. Doesn't even want the gold from the kill. It's like, nope. FY, it's all yours.
I'm an alchemist, I don't need gold. Wait, that's not how the hero works.
Yeah, that's definitely not how the hero works. He loves gold. He's like a dragon.
They're going to lose the top tower as well here, EG. So they did rotate a lot of heroes down for this Klink's kill, and they were successful, but their safe lane has been left empty for quite a while now.
S4's dead as well. Like, he was just pushing with the double catapult, thought he can get away with it. The catapult now gets cleaned up, and
nice,
the hook
nice
from
trick.
FY. First one he's really missed. I like how the space was created. Like, the Death Pact was used by Arme to get rid of the catapult, which S4 was using to block against the Pudge.
Yep. That was a nice try. Enchantress is one of the harder heroes to hook, however. She has really high base movement speed and the phase boots, so S4 waited until the hook was flying out, activated phase, and just ran down really quickly, and the hook did not connect.
We have a blink reveal, but also X-Nova. He starts the TP out. Avalanche toss. It looks like they didn't check the inventory. Chalice will get nuked. The Observer Ward saw both of them coming. He had time to react, but they did not see the blink dagger on Sumail. Now in towards the mid. Arteezy going to go against Somnus. He is underneath the acid spray and battling against Chemical Rage. Damn, they need a Spirit Vessel sometime soon.
Yeah, who's going to buy it, though? Crit is...
Crit's building towards it.
How
and
far away is he?
He's
actually relatively rich. Be
yeah.
Okay.
He needs another 1,200 gold to get there.
He'll get there.
It's not bad for a hero who's died 4 times.
It's a really great item against Alchemist, but at the same time, it has a very short timing window, because Alchemist gets so rich, he can very quickly, compared to other heroes like Necrophos, he can very quickly counter-itemize by just buying Lotus or Manta.
Blink, Avalanche toss, X-Nova gets a swap off, so Somnus will be saved.
For now.
For now, Arteezy just haunts over. He's underneath the shrine, so extra regeneration for Somnus, but he does not have the Chemical Rage, and he doesn't have the Friends. Klinks is moving over, so is the Pudge, and that's when they look for a little bit of a rebuttal, and Sumail is the primary target. Dismember, pull him in. They have no stuns when he's in that, and the Avalanche toss, it does some decent damage, and thanks to the Dust, Crit gets the reveal onto Arme. They snowball forward, and they will get the kill into Klinks, but FY still with the search. No, it won't be enough. Crit has a triple kill. You want the money. All of it's coming into the man who's building the huge item, which is the Spirit Vessel. As long as he can live, he'll be very happy with his feast here. And S4 is the intimidation factor. The level 8 Enchantress with the Dragon Lance. No one really wants to fight this.
Oh, gave away the ward there, though. S4 with that high ground hit. Showed X-Nova that they see him. So now the question is if they're going to find this ward. It's pretty much exactly in the middle. You'd think that's going to be easy to find for them, but sometimes you check the off angles. Yeah, he's going to find it right away.
It's
just
right on the edge.
Yep. Thank you very much for that, he says. Gets a bit of gold and is working toward a hood in this game.
So let's have a look at this fight again. So the Weaver breaks the smoke, and then they still get the toss. They still get the Avalanche toss off.
Yeah, so good swap attempt here. If Somnus has ulti, I think he stays alive in this situation, but still on a long cooldown. They're running down the shrine. And the reinforcements just aren't there. Like, Klinks takes very long to rotate over from the bottom side, and...
Get to come back live, and Arme, underneath his own
Fly
sentry,
dying.
gets a freebie. He also saw the Observer Ward getting planted up on the hill, I believe. So this will be time for LGD supports to check.
Oh, Somnus is spotted.
Yep, they're on the jump in. Alchemist. This is not what he wants to have happen. He's been sitting with this Radiance recipe for a while, but 2.5k gold. He needs to finish the job.
He's pinging out that there's got to be vision somewhere, and he's right. They actually do have a sentry that would see this ward if they only had high ground vision there.
They're coming
But for
over
now.
for Arteezy, but Arteezy's backing up. That was the pings from EG. And he's getting closer and closer towards his Blade Mail. Okay, maybe not full pings from EG. He's got a fresh Frost armor, so that's 11 armor to get through. Chalice doesn't want any part of it. Hook. Well, okay. Grabbed Arteezy. The double damage rune's worn off. The Swarm able to connect onto Fly as well as Crit, but it doesn't really matter. Fly
he denied himself.
FY is trapped in the middle of nowhere. He actually did. Well, I guess EG doesn't get what they wanted, which was a kill.
I think FY was testing the waters there, like, are they really all here? Yep, they were. And fortunately for him, he gets the deny off, so it's like almost there's nothing gained for EG in this situation. They got absolutely nothing out of that. And the bounty runes will be going 3 to PSG.LGD, I think. They got 3, right, on Clinks? So they got a little bit of a gain there.
Crit got 1, 2 for Arme, and...
3 for Arme, right?
Yeah, 3 for Arme.
Yep.
3 for Arme.
So a slight win there.
Yeah.
Arme will be eating the Centaur. Should have enough health to stay alive for now against Sumail.
Oh, Crit.
Right
Dust.
straight into
They
them,
see
though.
him so quickly. They still... Okay, obviously they didn't know about that observed ward on the hillside. Now they will. They have
But
all the information they needed.
maybe they could have known because Somnus just got killed up there and he pinged out the area. He was like, something is going on here. They see me here.
Yeah.
And this ward has been up there for 2 minutes now. And had they thought a bit more about it, they might have been able to find that earlier with Somnus' first death up there. But that means this ward has already paid for itself like 10 times. It's killed 2 cores.
Yeah.
That's super valuable.
Oh.
Radiant's complete.
Alright, so that's up, but at the same time you get the Blade Mail over on Arteezy, so Somnus can have this burn once he's able to, well, as long as he can buy it, which he should be able to in safety. The gank is coming to bottom lane from EG. As long as they have that. Yeah, Dust is off cooldown. Spirit Vessel 3 charges are available, but it's only S4 and Crit. They know they're outnumbered and more dewarding to happen. But they still have this Obs on top lane. Like, Somnus is fighting, is farming underneath it, practically in the tower. He'll get a double concoction off, but Fly already got the kill, committed Chain Frost.
I think Xnova just pinked the ward again.
It's just like,
They-
guys, can we please?
Pretty much.
They have eyes in the forest and Tree and Protector isn't even in this game.
They're getting way too much value out of this ward at this point. Like, you gotta clear the area. If you feel like, okay, there's something happening up here, when you're playing with Alchemist, you're basically like, Alchemist, what do you want? And then, okay, Mr. Alchemist, we'll take care of it for you,
see
buddy.
the circle being drawn in inside the jungle. They're just like, guys, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 sentry wards on the field, and they're all away from the observers of the
Yeah.
dire side. We haven't... Like, they found one observer inside LGD's like main jungle.
Yeah, LGD's own jungle is safer right now than the top half, for sure.
Yeah. So maybe there's
So-
the question mark, why was Somnus up there, but there was 2 creep waves coming under a tier 1 tower.
Yeah. And it's also just the instinct, like, it's... In most cases, this is where you want to play right now. You want to play in the top area and have vision there. Now they're finally going to place a sentry, I think.
No, they're smoking. They're going straight through. They're looking for kills. They're not looking for wards just yet. The hook from FY is going to be off target as a quick spectral dagger. Arteezy moves up the hill, and Crit's got the high movement speed away.
Now they're going to sentry. They better.
3, 2. Wave of terror for reveal. All right, we found one, but they don't know where the other one is.
Yep,
But
there's another one. It actually
actually
expired.
times out.
Yeah. So full 6 minutes on that one. That ward has also been really useful in seeing the movements. They've had so much time to prepare for Alchemist's movement patterns. They've done a really good job. Somnus has died 6 times this game on Alchemist. That's generally a really bad sign. He's obviously still far ahead of them in gold,
Because it's an alchemist.
but Alchemist needs to be. And he probably needs to be farther ahead than this.
I do
EG
like
are in a
his-
good position this
I
game.
do like
for
his
sure.
item build. Like, his item build's going to allow them to try and kill off the spec. By having the full silver edge, you're going to be removing that dispersion so early on in these fights. And that's when he's looking to, like, actually really hurt, coming in with the blade mail.
It's an aggressive build, and I'm imagining we're going to see LGD try to play a lot of fighting the moment this item comes up. I guess the logic is we want to hit this timing where Alchemist and Clinks want to play the same game. Can't have Alchemist farming the whole time and Clinks just not being able to do his thing. So maybe that's what they're thinking here, that they'll activate their team at the same time. Because Clinks is getting his item now too. He's 100 gold away from the Maelstrom. It's the
You actually-
second game in a row we see that from Ami.
I actually have double maelstrom, so Chalice just picked one up as well. Came out in the courier.
Big timing. It's so much stronger now.
Nice blend damage. So Silver Edge for information from Somnus to initiate, heavy damage to follow up. Does EG have the strength to actually fight this? You've already got the second level up in Grow, so Tiny's walking around with 20 armor, Echo Saber, so he's going to hit hard and fast, physical and
I
magical.
think the biggest item is coming out right now. It's coming onto S4. Because what's going to happen now is when Alchemist opens this fight, if they put a Vessel on him with Tusk and then pike him and just have any vision like Frozen Sigil or whatever, Enchantress is going to solo kill Alchemist from full HP.
Yeah.
So they got to be really careful. I think S4 has shown in the top lane now, though, so if they've pinged it out, they would know that there is a pike. This is a really important item for them to pay attention
crit.
to.
He came for the bounty rune. He's going to try and outrun them. He used the shots to try and block him off. He'll go for the second bounty rune as well. He'll need to dodge the hook and then dismember. That's a kill.
He got, how many runes did he get? Only one of them?
He got both of the bounties.
That's worth it. I think it's worth dying for.
But he gave another level of Flesh Heap over to the Pudge. And now Avalanche Toss. Buyback comes in from Crit. Spectral Horn into the back lines. The Blade Mail's turned on. And LGD! They're killing themselves! Crit tries to come in and capitalize on X-Nova. He's so low in life now. S4. Oh, someone? Okay, yeah, now they're going to kill him off. 3 heroes lost. FY's TP will be able to complete as the VS illusions kind of caused more problems.
Well,
but that's a 2 for 3 trade-off. Money-wise, it does go the way of EG's aim for the experience.
yeah, there's a slight win for EG, not that much. They had to buy back the Tusk, and yeah, sure, it's a support, but it's a pretty rich support, so buying back costs a decent amount, and they did kill the big carry in Arteezy there, so not too bad for LGD. They probably don't feel too good about it, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a very insignificant fight compared to a lot of other stuff that's happened this game.
It works nicely when you then get the push on bottom lane. Like, Charles is looking to try and hold up. Okay, well, I don't know if that's... Yeah.
There's no mana. He has to go back to refill.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the push. While the rest of EG would love to just force into that bottom tower. And Samel's on the hunt once more. They're looking towards the Clinks in the mid. He's farming up. Avalanche Toss. X-Nova's there for the swap, but it comes way too late. In fact, it never even came at all.
It's hard to cast swap on a tossed target. It's part of the strength of Tiny, actually, is how hard it is to save the heroes he goes on.
Oh, S4. Well, there's your first swap, and they tossed in the Tusker right into a Walrus Punch. Try and throw out the shards to catch out FY. EG never happy with just one kill, and here comes your snowball forward. Crit, no shards available just yet. Charles is in the neighborhood, but he has no swarm available. FY, he knows he's dead. Tries to rob through it, won't be able to deny himself. And LGD, the snowball of death.
Sumnus, whoa, he's really far up. He has cooldown on TP for 30 seconds.
Okay.
He's going to need to juke away in the tree line here, or hope that EG thinks he's just going to TP out, because this is a long time. They're giving him information mid, though. They're showing all their heroes on that mid wave. So
and he's coming in for Concoction. He's going after Arteezy, and Arteezy...
Oh!
Wait, what? He missed the target? He didn't get the toss off. Arteezy went into the trees, and now with the TP up from Crit, they're able to capitalize. Concoction's burning again, but he does not have time to get it off. Permanently stunned. And EG rotated. They showed everyone in mid, but they ended up having 4 on top.
I think, did Arteezy see him come in? Because he reacted really quickly to that by running into the tree line.
I honestly don't know. There's no Observer Ward in position for it.
He might have just felt it as well in the moment. Like, where is Alchemist? Is he trying to kill me? Just in case, let me start running toward the tree line. And he was.
Yeah, he burned the Blade Mail. Perfect dust right on max range. Clips Chalice. And then initiation after initiation coming in from Evil Geniuses, and even get a shard block onto FY. Crit doesn't have Snowball available, but what he does have is 7 Spirit Vessel charges. He is very well equipped.
All right, we see Somnus is starting to work on a BKB because he needs a defensive item. That's just what's happening this game right now. Every time he tries to make a move, he just gets killed off. He's got to get that BKB or Lotus Orb or something of that type. Maybe even a Mantis Style would still be great. Right now, I have really not felt Ami in this game. I feel like we've barely seen the hero.
Yeah.
Every time we see Clinks, it's because he's getting killed.
Well,
so.
they always get the gank on him.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like, he's not the instigator.
FY?
Yeah, he's feeling something. They're going to walk over and finally get rid of that Observer Ward that Scriff was highlighting previously. I think X-Nova's a little bit worried about going for it. There's your hook, pulling back Samel, and they just flip him, toss him, everything. FY is just a pancake. And they're looking for a little bit more. Arteezy into the back lines. They've got extra help, and Somnus isolated. What? He cannot fight back without killing himself.
That looked like full-on miscommunication. Like, there was absolutely nothing to do there for Somnus. His Pudge was dead, all of his teammates backed off, and he just ran into them and got killed off. And that's a big death. This might be Roshan.
It is.
They don't have the best Roche lineup, so actually this can backfire if they're a bit too slow, but Arteezy with the Manta style is dealing a lot of damage now onto the Roche.
They're taking very little back. Look at that gold from kills, 4.85 to the 8.8. It's just being a lot more efficient, and like it's 25 to 17 kills. The amount of kills are not that high. It's just better ones coming in for Evil Geniuses.
And they get the Aegis. How many bounties will they get here? 1, 2... They got 3, I think.
Well, Samel didn't see the target. And Arme doesn't see the target. He just walked straight up and picked up the bounty rune that Arme walked over the top of.
I feel like if you're in LGD's position right now, you have to understand that if Alchemist doesn't get another item or two, the fights are impossible at this point. Like it's just not working. They have to try to find a way of getting Somnus at least this BKB. Even then, it's still really, really difficult, but it feels like there is a chance at least.
Yeah.
The current fights are just not panning out well at all.
They need EG to let up for a bit. Like, to actually have a little bit more space. But, you know, EG are not. They group up as 4 and they smoke. They're looking to fight.
Either you do it that way or you make an aggressive play with some of your other heroes. Not where you're looking for a full-on team fight, but you're just looking to distract and create space. And right now, what they're going to go for instead is they'll probably just sacrifice their Vengeful Spirit to try to get Somnus his item.
Yeah, and Somnus actually needs to TP out practically in 3 seconds or he's dead. In fact, make that 1 second. Right now, he needs to go. Too late. Here comes your snowball forward. If he even TPs, it won't achieve anything. He just throws out the concoction, but already dead. Bought the Mithril Hammer, so there's no buyback. He is dead for 45 seconds.
Venge just left his side there to run into the jungle, and I don't really think Venge would have made much of a difference in that situation. When he got backstabbed like that, he's dead no matter what, so at the very least, they only lose the Alchemist. But this is an Alchemist game, by the way. Let's remember.
Though. Like, Crit's out of position. The Snowball's going to come over towards Chalice. Arme's nearby, and now he'll... Does he see Samel? Samel doesn't see him, and Arme just quickly runs away. How are they? Where's the detection? Like, there's no gem on the Tuskar.
He just got a dust. He blink dusted. Didn't catch him though.
FY finds his target. Goes in after Fly, but then support's going to arrive from both sides. Arme dusted up. FY with the hook, able to get the kill over onto Fly, but really, is this cost worth it? He had the Blade Mail. He wants to get a little bit more damage because he's making space. Like, it's with their deaths. They're trying to make space for both Charles as well as Somnus to come back in this game. But is it really worth it? I know there's diminishing returns, but they're dead for a while.
It's an Alchemist team that's 8k gold behind. Minute 27. They are very, very far behind. This is not really the state of the game. Like, if this was with other heroes, this Alchemist would obviously not have 14k gold right now. He would have, like, 7, maybe.
But the space they're buying is getting the BKBs. Like, Weaver's ready to push in the bottom tower. The Alchemist is practically, like, he's pretty much close to finishing up his BKB.
Yeah.
Charles is going to do the same type of thing. And how does the team fights change once these are up?
Well, they're going to take a lot less damage from the Spectre and Lich, and of course the Tiny combo if they can block it off before he casts it, but they're still struggling with S4. He has Pike and this Aghanim Scepter. Sure, he can't pike them if they're BKB'd, but he still hits like a truck from really long range.
Yeah.
So you gotta... At this point, I feel like you've got to rely on either a great swap or a great hook when EG try to push your base and kind of bait them into overextending into your base and getting some key kills under Acid Spray.
So you're doing like a defensive swap, or you actually want them to be aggressive and actually swap EG into a bad spot?
I would like to see them swap EG into their base, because I think the defensive swaps are not going to cut it anymore. If EG starts pushing, you got to find that key kill.
Clinks. He doesn't need that sentry ward, tries to open up after Fly once again. The hook pulls him back, and the swap. Arme barely survives that. Impetus did so much damage because of the drag back. So VS will die, but Arme, he was ticking down to the Spirit Vessel, still affected by dust for half a second. Now it will wear off, gets more life, secondary does crit, taunts him, and then punches him. Style points.
And in the meantime, Arteez is just pushing bottom. So this tier 2 tower is gone. He has Haunt ready again now. And this is the high ground play from EG, and unfortunately for LGD, well, they lost their aggressive swap player, he's dead, and yeah, they can hook, but who's going to deal the damage?
Somnus actually needs to TP back now. They may just let it go. Like, because is there a point to fight this? Charles isn't coming back. He is now finishing up his BKB. He has the money for it. So TP is there. Hook back, Arteezy. Just pops the Manta Style, makes it impossible for FY to fight him. And the tier 3 tower has fallen. EG. 8 seconds till Clinks. The window is still sort of open. They're centering to get rid of the Observer Ward. They know there's problems. And then sentry on sentry in the mid. Nice trap, X Nova. Made a half igloo. Radiance is now done on EG, so Arteezy completes it.
There goes
And,
Davis.
yeah, Aegis is gone.
And that's their call to go. They're going to try here to find an opening.
Well, they found one. Clinks right on top of Sumail. Ame actually takes the rune, and Sumail blinks over, goes inside the Shadow Blade, so he'll get fresh bottle charges. And Chalice looks for his own targets. 3 heroes around the front of Roshan, then runs away. There's just so much vision for EG. They have the Observer and Sentry up, so there it is. Reality Rift in. X-Nova becomes target number 1. Burns down to the Radiance, and there's just no way for LGD to fight. Challenge at least gets his BKB off, plus the timeless, but that doesn't matter. Arteezy hits like a truck. 3 heroes down for LGD. Alchemist never even involved. He's sitting back at his racks, wondering, why are we outside the base dying?
Yep. I think, you know, at some point you gotta just try. You gotta take the chance and go for the fight. And they tried to find an opening, it didn't work. This is definitely the mid-rack's gone. Somnus is standing here with the Radiance, just dealing whatever damage he can, but...
He also wants to pick up the Blade Mail, because there's no way he can stand in a fight either unless he has that up and running. But EG are going to claim 2 lanes of racks. Nothing can stop this from LGD. The only thing that stops the third one is the fact that Tier 2 Tower is still alive on the top lane.
The thing EG has done such an exceptional job at this game is identifying what the condition is for LGD to take a fight. They've had constant sentries and dusts the whole game. The map has been plastered in sentries. They've had the dusts when the opportunities arise to go for the kills on both the Weaver and the Clinks. And they've managed to kill this Alchemist 10 times. Like, you can't really counter this lineup more than this. They shut down the Invis heroes. They shut down the Alchemist. That's it. That's what you're going to do. And they've done a really, really good job this game.
And right now, LGD are trying to make the play for the Melk Award. The run's coming out. FY looking for a good hook line. Arteezy is revealed. They swap him back down again into the hook and dismember. Hold him in. Crit comes in for a snowball save. Yep, he'll pick him up and drag him back out again over towards Ame, who thought he was safe, sitting on the sidelines, but it doesn't happen when Crit's there, holding onto the gem. They see all. They win all. EG take game number 1 against LGD. And they hold their number 1 position in this group, even though there's still one more game to play in this series.
And this last pick, Alchemist, just fell flat, really.
Yeah.
They needed too much time. I think one of the big problems in this game, when you look at it with how LGD played, was they have this trio of heroes that was really good at reinforcing Alchemist, and they got a couple of good fights in their jungle, where when EG goes on Alchemist in the early game, they reinforce with Venge, Pudge, and the Weaver.
Yeah.
I didn't see Ame all game. Like, this Clinks was actually almost completely useless.
They were meant to find the right timing too. Like, it was meant to be both Ame as well as Chalice teaming up, and finding these pickoffs. But I don't even want to put it on the supports. Like, X-Nova did his job. FY had a really great laning phase as well. It's just
did what they could.
They made the space, but the cores just never were able to capitalize with it.
I think it's generally a bad sign when you have both Alchemist and another carry farming jungle together.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Both Ame and Somnus needed so much time, and you got to make space for Alk.
Maybe that's when you put a lot of points onto what Sumail did. It may have looked crazy. It may have looked insane.
Oh, I thought it was good.
But it was exactly what he needed to do to win the lane. Chase down the Alchemist, never give him anything. And after that point, like, the vision coverage of Evil Geniuses, they always knew where LGD was going to go, and maybe this is the downside about running an Alchemist. You know how the game's going to play out.
Yeah, well...
You know how he's going to farm pattern, and you just watch it.
Sumail was like, if I'm Alchemist this game, what would I hate the most? And then he's like, I'll just do that. That's what I'm going to do. Gonna run him down, hunt him, and yeah, like you said, he also got the mid tower, put a lot of pressure, and I liked, like I said earlier, I liked the couple of plays LGD actually had early on where they took fights together that worked out, but they got like one of them. 1 or 2 moments, and the rest of the moments were just all EG.
Man, I cannot wait to see game number 2. LGD hating Sumail. Maybe the hate of DAC can be brought back once more, and game 2 can be a little bit closer than game 1. we interrupt your F5ing of your fantasy team to see how many points you've got to bring you this game.
Make sure you pick players that have 6 games today.
Yeah.
So this guy,
This
guy told me. Okay,
this
listen
guy.
up. Listen up. This guy told me that only the 4 best games count during the group stage. So I was like, okay, maybe today I'll actually take some players that only have 4 games because I think their games will be better than the 6 games of the others. So then I'm like, hey, Knoxville, is that how it works? After I'm looking at my cards, I'm like, I feel like I've got too few points. He's like, no, that's not how it works. Every game counts. It's when the best of 3s kick in that the best 2 games work. So basically, you ruined my fantasy league.
See, this is how you win PvP.
You play the player, not the game.
That's it.
Man.
Let's play the draft. Let's
I got 2 cards that only had 4 games today. I'll get back. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Poor Cinderin.
I like playing with a handicap. Then I can be even prouder when I beat you. That is,
Wow.
It's worth more. I have nothing to lose now. If I lose, I'm just like, well, you screwed me over.
I'm actually okay with this. Like, if this just becomes our own private rivalry, you can beat me even though during a group stage day you've had 2 rounds, 2 games not even count.
Yeah. I feel like I have nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, if I lost, that's why. And
Yeah,
if
then
I
you
was
can blame me.
even though I had two cards today that only have 4 games.
Well, Cinderin, I wish you the best of luck.
One of them is Sumail. He's been doing fine, so that's
Sumail
that's
has
not
been
too
doing
bad.
very, very well.
He's been doing well today. And he did very well in game 1. He
Yeah.
played tiny and he got a lot of kills and a lot of assists and kind of ruined the Alchemist's game. So
How many people always like when they talk about like how do you do a 1v1 mid matchup? How do we approach this one? Sumail seems to be the one everyone refers to. It's like, this is how he wins his lane. This is how he wins it. And it's not just, well, I balance the creep equilibrium. He understands how the lane works, how the hero needs to move off, and how he should move to counter it and do his role for his team. Damn, this is an early pick for us. It feels too early almost.
Spectre has very quickly risen up the ranks in this tournament. There's been a couple of teams that started picking it early. Mainly VP would pick it early with, we've seen it with their Chen, for example. And EG did great with it last game, so this time LGD are going to grab it as their absolute first pick, and you're going to see Evil Geniuses try to counterpick this hard. The first one is going to be here, one of the worst lane matchups. We talked about it last game, that this was out of the pool when EG grabbed their Spectre.
Yep.
This time around it is available for EG, and they will grab that here.
It seems very odd though, isn't Spectre one of these heroes that could just fall off completely? Unless you have a really good laning phase.
If Spectre has a bad game and
there's like no recovery, there's
and
no
nobody in the team is doing well,
yeah,
then it's very hard for Spectre to find a fight to bring it back into the game. But the last game, Spectre had a pretty good lane. It went well for them, and their team was doing well. I was actually wondering if they were going to pick this now, but I didn't think they would pick it this early. This is one of the best heroes against Spectre. Obviously, the laning stage is going to be rough. Decay is very annoying. Spectre has no real way of dealing with the Tombstone. And I believe when you use Haunt and you're fighting around the Tombstone, all of the Haunt illusions get zombies on them. And that means I'm not 100% on this actually, but I think they don't proc Desolate because there's always a unit nearby, right?
5 seconds.
You know this.
yeah, because I'm great with mechanics.
I feel like it would work that way, but I'm not 100% positive. I do think that's the case, though. Of course, another thing is, when there's Haunt illusions, I do believe they definitely count toward the Soul Rip counter, so that also makes Soul Rip stronger. And I remember reading this like a couple of weeks back, that Spectre in the high bracket has over 50% win rate against every hero in Dota except Undying, 49.
So
He is the one hero that has a positive win rate against Spectre in pubs.
You're basically pulling in the Kryptonite.
He is
what
the
you're saying.
Kryptonite in pub games, which is
So-
not the ultimate truth, but when you have a big sample size, it starts mattering.
So when you pick it up this early, like I kind of want to ask you 2 questions and see if I can get one answer.
Okay.
Do you start picking heroes that are then able to fully enable the Spectre, like the Wyvern to actually protect and so on and so forth, or can you, because of the way the meta functions, run Spec as like this off lane, the way we've seen Wraith King starting to be run? We're like, you know what, if he has a good game, that's okay, but it's also okay if we have our other side laner perform really well, and he can make up for what we don't have.
Spectre can come back if his teammates are doing well, as I mentioned before. So I think what you do is, if you have an impossible lane for Spectre, you dodge it at all costs.
Yeah.
So you pick another core now that does well against this Ursa and Undying, such as Weaver could have been a nice pick perhaps, but I don't think LGD want to open with 2 cores. And you put Spectre in the other side lane. If it's the off lane and if it's a hard lane, so be it. but anything but this, right? Like, this is horrible. This lane is really, really rough. Wyvern is a nice hero against Undying early on in the lane, though, because what happens is Undying casts Decay, and when he hits Decays, he builds his current and max HP. And that means that the Arctic Burn starts dealing a serious amount of damage, and then when Undying loses his strength later, he's really low. So it's one of the better heroes at dealing with Undying from a laning stage perspective, and I think it's a really good hero against Ursa.
Yep.
Wins his curse during his enrage, outlasts the enrage, it's gone, and you can freeze somebody Ursa jumps on. He can keep building Fury Swipes, but really, like, you can't just AFK in a team fight and just hit a guy in an ice cube for 4 full seconds and then expect to win it afterwards.
I'm wondering, like, if it's the Wyvern core that we were looking at earlier today.
I feel like LGD would not do that. There's a couple of other teams
that
that
seem a
have
little non-LGD-ish, yeah.
I think it was Jinkyu from Serenity that ran it in one game, and they had PYW and support Tiny, I'm pretty sure. It might have been a secondary game of Core Wyvern.
Yeah, I was digging through, but I do not see it. Not instantly at least. But yeah, either way, it's that was the game he didn't buy the Aghanim Scepter, and you're like, why didn't you buy Aghanims?
I think Ags on Wyvern is pretty underwhelming.
It was because he had Mask of Madness, MKB. Actually, no, I think it was Purge that said that. It was like, why don't you just have the Aghanim Scepter? You just like start peppering away because you have permanent Arctic Burn then, right?
Yeah, it costs a lot of mana.
Hmm.
There's some secondary problem with it as well, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but in many ways, when you look at the damage and how Arctic Burn works, you might be better off getting a third damage item instead. Because Ags is expensive. It's 200 gold, so you could buy almost a Daedalus, for example, if you want to.
Well, they got pretty close to it. But
catching up on bans, they got rid of the Lina for EG, and LGD banning out Alchemist as well as Storm. So LGD were like, our Alchemist last game was great against Spectre, so we absolutely don't want to face that here. There could be multiple reasons for this.
It doesn't look like LGD has a good lineup to invade into the jungle, or at least pressure the mid the same way Samel did with the Tiny.
Absolutely. Wyvern is a bad invasion hero, so it likes to play on its own half of the map for quite a while.
They banned the Mirana, good hero to wipe out the Tombstone, one of the counters we've already seen multiple times throughout day one.
They left in Phantom Lancer. He's one of the best heroes at dealing with Tomb, but with PL, Spectre Course, do you actually want that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I still feel like Weaver looks pretty good for LGD. I would have actually expected that to be one of the 2 bans from EG just because it enables them to put this laning that we talked about, that Weaver can play in both side lanes and it already sees stuff that it's good against. There you go. That's why.
And that's why.
They just take it. That was their plan.
They may have also just been trying to focus on the bans onto the mid lane, so Samel has a really nice lane.
Oh, I think they wanted this hero. I think that's why they didn't ban it.
So
I mean, obviously they did, but from the beginning of the phase, I think they already identified Weaver will be a hero here. What are we going to do about it?
So you run Arteezy Weaver, S4 Ursa?
Other way around, I think.
Other way around?
Yeah. Arteezy is really good at Ursa, and S4 wants to play Weaver. I'm pretty sure you're way better off with these players putting them on those heroes.
All right.
And that's the thing about this patch, right, is that regardless, last game S4 was on Enchantress. You could transition into a carry. He was super farmed.
Yeah.
So you just put your heroes, you put your players on their best heroes as long as you enable them.
This is where your fantasy team just goes completely out the window. Either EG click the wrong thing, or you just have like an offlaner who now becomes the core. It's like, all right.
Offlane in this patch is in a very special place compared to what it's been the last couple of years.
Well, it's like offlane. We only talk about it because it's like it's the furthest you have to go away.
Yeah,
to try and farm in the lane. That's the only reason why we call it off lane.
Yeah, it's not really an off lane anymore. It's lane 2.
Yeah, I like the way you described it. Now you got mid lane and you got side lanes.
Yeah,
and the pairings that you put on your side lanes is fine. Then you just get the right pairings into the lane. That's it. There's nothing more to it now.
That's an oversimplification, but it's pretty close to just being that way right now. Obviously, there are innate advantages to the side lanes. Like some heroes do better in the safe lane, some do better in the off lane just because of the way they can play the tree line or the way they can use the pole. But in comparison to last year, absolutely. Like we're way closer to the lanes being completely even than we were last year.
I'm still not certain which meta I like more, because I liked the early rotations, but now when the early rotations happen, it seems so critical that it goes right. And for most teams, it has either gone horribly wrong or horribly right, and then we just go
horribly right.
Oh
no, we did everything right, guys.
It's like fully sick, man. It's fully sick is a positive way of describing things, even though it's sick. Crapping on my
But
terminology. But yeah, but
what were you getting at?
uh,
It's either gone horribly right or horribly wrong.
yeah, and then it transitions into these never-ending team fights as people try and catch up to it. And we battle around
Yeah.
Roshan. We battle around like, oh god, we're behind, so let's kill them all.
Yeah, it's definitely a different style this year than the one with the really strong fours that were getting bounty runes and just dominating the map. Of last year, where we had someone like GH. Obviously comes to mind from the winning Team Liquid that year. Spoilers, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you gotta wait 2 years for those.
5 seconds remaining.
We've got a little bit of catching up here, by the way. So Dark
little
Willow
bit.
was grabbed by LGD. Haven't seen them play this hero yet, I believe, this tournament. So we haven't in our games.
We haven't, but they definitely had.
They have run it once?
They definitely have.
Maybe one time.
I will.
I'm seeing one game there. They had it one game against VGJ Thunder.
Yeah, that was when they had Storm Dro Mirana VS.
Okay, that's their only game.
Yes,
they've had it. So
it is their only one.
Second Willow pick for LGD. Looks like they consider this hero a really good solution to the. I would imagine it's mainly the Ursa and the Weaver. I don't see it being any good against Undying. But obviously having the brambles that you can put down that Weaver has to navigate through. Terrorize is really nice against Ursa. And the Weaver, especially if you catch him in Shukuchi, he has to run really far away during that Terrorize and has a lot of good kill potential against that Weaver who has a low HP pool, so that's nice. EG will grab their Tiny that they've run in many a game.
And Clinks is back
Here
again.
it comes again.
I wonder if he'll have a presence this game.
I don't like this pick this game.
This is like what do you push him into the mid or is
probably.
that's actually where he's gonna go, not the 3?
I think so,
Or
but
the side.
the reason I don't really like it is that I feel like it's a good hero against Weaver, but both Ursa and Tiny eat this guy alive. So you need to be really careful with how you play fights so you don't just get burst. And if Clinks is scared, it's a weird hero to play. It's like awkward. Last game, Clinks was scared the whole time, and he never really joined the game much. And I could see the same thing happening to LGD again in this game, unless they just do well in their lanes. But are you expecting to do well in their lanes against these heroes? I think you're drafting yourself into a pretty severe lane disadvantage.
Yeah.
I think if Clinks goes to either side lane, I don't see him winning against these heroes. Like, does Clinks win the lane against Tiny? Probably not. Does he win against Weaver? I don't think so either.
Is it meant to be this time anything again from LGD? It's like, well, we'll get Blade Mail on. No!
It's a pretty good hero in this game. Enigma.
Damn you, Fly!
EG had no counter picks currently against Enigma, and Enigma is very good with Midnight Pulse against Tiny. And the Black Hole, it's like one of the only lockdowns in the game that Tiny doesn't actually get out of with his status resistance. So
10 seconds
I
remaining.
disagree wholeheartedly with this move, but you're right.
is that why you said nor?
No.
Nor.
Again, this is the kind
Nor. They banned
of
Enigma.
abuse that I have to live with when I cast with you. I said I want to go and join the BSJ trio cast. We'll make it a quad cast so I can escape you. SK,
Also
hello.
a cast.
Okay,
I like this hero.
I'm now happier with where we're at. Now I have a nice AOE big ultimate, but also a nice
Poor man's Black Hole.
well, we kind of have a poor man's shield, so we'll have a poor man's black hole.
Yep. This hero I have not seen it all tournament, actually. This is the first Sanking game I see. I love this hero myself. He's in a bit of an awkward spot in this patch in some ways, but if they do play it as a core, I could definitely see it being useful. This instant stun against both Ursa and Weaver is really, really nice. It's not as good against Tiny, but the other two cores he deals with well. He sets up his team nicely. I could definitely see this hero working in this game.
This actually is the first game
Sand King, the whole tournament.
He is unplayed. The amount of heroes that have been picked is unbelievably high. 6, 12, 18. There's 20 heroes who have not been picked. Now make it 19 with the inclusion of this Sand King. So, first game.
Wait, how many did you say were picked?
Right now, 20 heroes. 19 now. 19 heroes have not been
19
picked.
unpicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're missing
So we're close to 100 already.
CK, Darkseer, Dazzle, Doom, Jakiro, Coddle, Meepo, Naga, NS, OD, PA, Quap, Razor, Slaughter, Slark, Techies, Viper.
All right. Did you guys get that noted down? Good.
Yeah,
Let's...
there will be a test on this at the end of the cast.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fail.
Oh,
I'm okay with that though. You can join the quadcast then.
yeah.
You're too good for this.
Okay.
So the last pick was Pugna actually for crit as a position 4 in this game. So very interesting support duo, Undying Pugna. This is
heavy push.
I want to say that these heroes as a support duo have been picked together very few times in Dota's history because they have like no kill potential more or less. They had no stun. They have 1 slow and decrepify, which is obviously now better than it used to be in the past. So it's something, but very unique support duo that you will not see very often compared to the other one with like Dark Willow Wyvern, which will be a lot more common in this day and age. We also have a Cowboy Ursa. So get ready for the Wild West. And yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna go?
I got nothing else.
Like a Barnacle Undying. Except he's not a Barnacle. He looks like a crossover from last year and this year. But he's definitely this year.
Yeah, that's from.
He's the Underminer.
It's from one of these. It's from one of the chests, right?
It
from
is.
this year's TI.
It
Yeah, I
is.
believe so.
That's
a
why
new
it's
set.
covered
I
in,
have
like,
this one as well. Yeah.
In green gems. Over time, when you are undying, you hold on to things. All right, game lanes. Show us what we got.
Yeah, I think so. In this game, if LGD's laning stage goes pretty well, I think they're going to take this game just off the core matchups that they will have later. I think this has potential to be a great Spectre game after the laning stage if it doesn't get crushed. I find the Sand King to have good options in this game if he gets away with the laning too, and they did put the Clinks in mid, which I think is the right thing to do. Now, at the time, I didn't like the Clinks pick, and I still think it could turn into an Achilles heel, but under the circumstances that things go well for LGD in the first 10 minutes, Clinks can definitely play this game. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I will keep a very close eye on him. For now, I want to watch this bottom lane where Chalice as well as FY are doing their little loop rounds. They brought a sentry ward with them. No, actually, they brought 2 sentry wards down to this bottom lane for LGD. So they want to see where EG are getting their vision. For now, they put one of the obs in towards the mid lane. It's the same as LGD.
I feel like in this in the current games that we see this tournament, there's a lot of just mid ward from both teams.
Yeah,
it happens in so many of the games that both teams place a mid ward, and you just wonder when do we start seeing the minute 0 sentry wards come out in mid to just even before the waves meet.
Just fly run over for the other. Like, Charles can level Burrow Strike and get the stun timing right. He'll be able to get the stun over onto S4 with Bramble. Flying was still able to get the bounty rune, but it's first blood onto the Weaver. So Evil Geniuses, is it going to be worth it?
Mathematically, it appears no.
They got 3 bounties. They gave away first blood, and the first blood went
the current
to
gold
the Willow.
lead is 70 gold.
Huge! Massive! Ridiculous.
And the experience lead is like 40 or 60, because killing a level 1 hero gives like almost nothing. They all got 20 XP. Sand King, Willow, and Wyvern got 20 XP each.
Chalice really wants to try and fight in this bottom. Here's that early fortification. Is this always Samael doing it?
It's the early glyphs that you see will in almost every game be the mid laners, but sometimes you save the glyph to do a tower dive in the enemy's safe lane. Like, for example, imagine this top lane, right? The Ursa Pugna. If you push into the enemy's tower and you're level 2 and they're level 1, a lot of the times you can glyph and just take advantage of the creep wave being in the tower for so long to go for a dive. This time around, obviously not going to be the case as it has already been expended mid. And well, Samael seems to be doing very well against Somnus. 7-2 against 2-0.
Yeah, all the lanes are going really, really well. The SK is getting nothing on bottom lane. Like, he's finally having a creep wave push up so we can work with this. Samael's getting forced back a little bit, while up on top, Arteezy going in deeper, gets hit by the Splinter Blast. So low on life, but has a salve, so this is all intentional. But S4's gone 5-1 against the SK 1-0. It's been a rough world, and okay, Arteezy, he's actually running down X Nova. Under the tower's a little bit more difficult, even though we got 4 of the swipes on. They are level 1s. Burrow Strike on bottom, heavy damage after the Weaver. Once again, they get the pop. Fly can't do enough to stop it. He ended up having to soul rip aggressively into Chalice. And
he's
actually,
dead too.
Yeah, Burrow
There's
Strike.
Mango.
There's Mango into Burrow Strike inside the tree line. And then from the realm, FY...
Oh, wait a second.
Where'd the damage go? You've got support arriving from S4. Fly is still alive. He had 1,200 HP. FY will be able to get the kill in return.
FY, that's not FY. That was X-Nova on the picture, but sometimes that happens.
Oops.
No, I think FY didn't charge his Shadow Realm long enough. I feel like that should have been a kill right there.
Yeah.
But maybe there were a couple of extra stick charges from Fly that I didn't hear or didn't see at the time, and well, they do get the kill trade-off, so not the biggest of deals there. But still, this bottom lane for LGD, sure they're getting a couple kills, but Sanking CS is not looking too hot right now with the 4-0.
Okay, that's just, yeah, it's not looking great because he's been waiting for Caustic. He got Burrow Strike early on. He can't sit inside a Sandstorm because he's going to get decayed and the Sentry Ward's in the lane. So it has to be Caustic lane presence doing his work. Crit's lane presence is great. Forced Arme out of the lane. While Somnus, he's feeling a little bit more intimidated to the double damage of Sumail.
The really good thing that LGD have got going for them bottom that they've taken advantage of is how easy of a setup the Sanking Stun is for Brambles and how much damage the Brambles deal.
Oh, S4, great run around, using that extra movement speed of Shikuchi to find Chalice, and he gets him around, had the vision past the tree to attack into the SK.
Man, look at the CS. They're getting crushed in lanes. This is not even close right now. All of the lanes massively favoring EG. The top net worth hero on LGD's side is FY on Dark Willow. He has way more net worth than his course.
He's gonna stop being slowed down. He's running no boots Ursa. Just can't catch up.
They're
just
coming
yet.
in now, I think.
Is that what's on the
never
courier?
mind, that's Aquila.
Yeah, it is.
Look at the Aquila first.
Munch another Tango and then put that Wraith Band out of his backpack into his inventory would be nice. Now, Crit's the one being initiated on. Remember, he's got the Decrepify. Splitter Blast bounces out to Arteezy. He doubled the slows. And once again, we see Sumail diving underneath towers as well. He is right on top of the tier 2 tower. So deep. At least there's the mischance uphill from Somnus.
He's keeping Somnus from CSing, basically. He just zoned him off half a wave under his tower. It's very aggressive moves. He's not too scared of the TP rotations, even if they were to be successful once. Look how much damage he's done already.
And it's Wyvern as well as a Willow that's going to come in and like...
Oh, top lane.
Probably confident enough to dodge the Bramble. Spec
He's
able
okay.
to move into the trees thanks to the Spectral Dagger. And S4 and Fly, they found their target. FY try to get cute, try to get aggressive. We'll have to go into the Shadow Realm. S4's got another jump in 2 seconds time. Bramble, S4 actually walks into it with a full Burrow Strike. Who's really the cute one?
That was a bit of a mistake there from S4. He didn't die, he has a lot of regen, and will be grabbing. Looks like they got 3 of the 4 runes, EG, so now a 2k gold lead minute 5. And this is with no tower taken and 1 kill down. Just raw creeps.
And the one they put all the farm into is the mid laner. Like, the hero we did not see being a real factor in the last game for LGD. Of course, we have changed who's playing it. But at the same time, he's up against Sumail's Tiny, who's just having an absolute field day. And they're going again up on top. Decrepify, Blast, it's the Winter Wyvern who's the primary focus. And Arteezy just rips him apart. Then on to bottom lane, they just don't stop there. There's LGD looking for their own revenge, getting the Cursed Crown onto S4. The Fly stands true. A lot of stick charges. As the Decay builds up, it's a target you just do not want to try and kill.
Yeah, they don't have enough damage to kill this hero in this lane. It's the Weaver or nothing. And going on the Weaver is a bit tricky too, a lot of the time with the Soul Rip back up. Fly, is he going to try for this?
Crit's having another crack up on top.
It's not happening. Oh, he keeps going!
Wait, he's actually going in?
Oh, I got him!
It's a Decay?
Wait, what? How's that enough?
It's a level 2 Decay?
50 damage plus 4 strength. Oh, it's against a strength hero too. Yeah, it just barely. That was really close.
You want to do the math, don't you?
Yeah, but because he's a strength hero, it deals more damage, right? Because he gets more health per strength. So that was pretty much on the edge. Great kill from Fly. I didn't think he was going to get that one.
I suppose there's one upside. FY gets a full bottle refill, but now S4 comes aggressive again. Shikuchi through. Maybe thinks twice about it. And Klinks is moving. Somnus is coming down to the bottom lane. They've been so aggressive. S4 Shikuchi's forward, and Somnus, he's going to be ready to open up with a Burrow Strike. That's a quick and easy kill onto the Undying. They don't have enough damage normally, but with the effect of Somnus, there is Arme through the tree. He gets over. The Splinter Blast and the Arctic Burn slow up Arteezy so much, and X-Nova shows why he's such a great pick against the Ursa.
Yeah, 2 slows, and later on the Cold Embrace will be very useful.
Are they trying to actually get him to dive? Like FY TP'd into the tree line, probably hoping that Arteezy would commit, but they're salving up before they'll give that a crack. Well, they see Spec. Observer and Sentry is down, so Crit, Curse Crown, Spectral Dagger, slow him up. Splinter Blast available. Arteezy has to walk away. The Bramble, instant hit onto the Pug, and he starts his TP. They need the damage, but he's decrepified up. Never able to connect from Dark Willow.
They have 2 stuns in their lineup, and, well, technically Terrorize as well, I guess you could say. And only one is available.
Through the trees! Arteezy's trying to cut his way through. The Curse Crowns on him. They're trying to isolate, but Ame cannot take another hit. 6 points. Well, 6 stacks of the Fury Swipes. Now it's FY. He's got no abilities left. The slow on Arteezy will wear off. 2 seconds till Spectral Dagger, and that may not be enough. He's still got 6 charges, so 1 hit was all it was going to take from Arteezy. FY stands his ground, but Arteezy, he's a bear. He's a beast. He's a man.
Damn. They set him up for that real hard. I think he just got 2 kills that he just took full-on advantage of the little bit of space that they gave him to go for that. That's just such a great reward. Getting 2 kills in that situation. He leveled up to 6 at the same time, so he could enrage off the Bramble, and...
Oh, they're going after Fly.
Not very much going right for LGD in this game right now.
TP in from the Dark Willow. They're going to start with the Cursed Crown. Searing Arrows will be doing more than enough damage, and the Bramble's right on the money, and they're going to give the kill over to... went to FY. I don't think that was intentional. He had 2 cores next to it.
He's almost their carry, so why not?
Well,
boost him up.
He's got 2.3k net worth. He's just behind that of the Clinks. Ahead of both Spec and the SK, so yeah, he actually technically is Willow turn carry. They're giving him the mid lane against Samel. He's probably the only one that can survive, thanks to the Shadow Realm.
Clinks will be fine there as long as he has Death Pact running, but when the creep expires, he can actually die. Oh, seeing a bit of a stun into pause.
Hold the phone.
Creative.
Weaver's still got time lapse, so he's absolutely fine here. It's just Chalice trying to be a nuisance. It's
the question is if Chalice is fine.
It's
Sandstorm.
It's the top lane where the issues are coming in. So they saw where the Spectral Dagger went. They probably know that Ame's farming on the side. Arteezy has no way to move off the lane, but Phase Boots are coming off cooldown. So maybe Fly feels like he can at least be an absolute nuisance to Ame. And yeah, Chalice is back.
It's really low.
And X-Nova's taken to the trees.
We have the same situation as last game. PSG are jungling 2 carries. Both the Clinks and the Spectre are hitting jungle creeps. This looks real grim right now. It's a massive lead to have right now.
9.5 minutes in, your advantage is 4k. X-Nova just burned a smoke. Chalice is running away on the bottom lane. S4, 1 attack with Geminate. It's just not enough, but they find the Wyvern on top lane. Body block, slow him up, Fly comes over. Everybody get involved. You can at least get the Fury Swipe stacks up. And then, boom. Down he goes.
Hey, he bought himself 4 seconds there at least. Wasted a bit of time. Might as well, right? If you're going to die there, just keep them busy.
Now 10-minute bounty, we're Insomnus. He doesn't even try and grab it.
EG
So
get all 4.
Full bottle charges as well for their side laners. S4. And he's even just letting it sit there. Insomnus never ran for it. Creeps in the lane are obviously worth more than the 10-minute bounties to him. But he may want his life. That's an Invis rune. Tiny walks, point blank range, avalanche toss, throws it back into Fly, and with the Decrepify Blast, it got the Invis reveal on him thanks to Dust. EG come armed to the teeth. They claim their bounty. Oh, crit. Take a little bit of damage. X-Nova's not even 6 yet. Like, he's a level 4 Wyvern 10 minutes in. It's, like, there's no counter to this team fighting at all from LGD. They don't have the damage output from a Clinks. Dark Will is kind of your only one to do it. Maybe with the Burrow Strike in from Chalice, FY. They just have to heavy man it up, and they will be killing off Samel. Spectral Haunt.
I think they really want a Spectre to get that kill.
They're trying to chase for another one. They're going up after Fly now. Charles, with the boots, he has the movement speed only because the Spectral Dagger was slowing him up, but Arteezy comes in, Tombstones drop a double Burrow Strike, but now Terrorize gets them to run away. Epicenter from Chalice will slow them during the run, and FY looking for that extra damage, but he's getting drained out by Crit. This is their carry. This is the man who's going to the Shadow Realm right now. He cannot do so. No powers of Yu-Gi-Oh! Belong to him, and hey, this looks like a rinse and repeat. X-Nova, 8 Fury Swipe stacks. for Arteezy to get that kill, and he'll come over for another one. SK to the neighborhood, but maybe not that much. Somnus does a hell of a lot of damage with these searing arrows, and he sows up just in case, combining with the stick charges, and with the Clinks, who's dusted up, they can see where he moves. Fly tries to help, he's got some stick charges, but Somnus tries to juke it on the high ground, up then down. Sumail makes his movement over with the Blink Dagger, but he's too far away, and the invis detection is now gone.
As far as like, oh, there's a fight, that's great. He's just almost got a full tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
Bye, Fly.
Oh, it's something. But the top 4 net worths are on EG 12 minutes in. And when this game started, we were skeptical about this for LGD, how greedy it was having this Clinks and Spectre together, and that they needed to do okay in lanes to transition into mid-game. And right now, the lanes went beyond awful.
Yep. Fire strike on towards the mid, and on bottom lane, S4 was trying to dive underneath the tower. Somehow still got himself back out to safety after the Cursed Crown triggers. And Arteezy's just looking at Roshan. Right now it's an intimate moment between Arteezy and Roshan of, hey, you know what's coming, man. I'm just waiting for Tombstone.
Yeah, gonna use the Tomb to tank some attacks for him. Setting up the zombies nicely. It's a pretty cool pairing of heroes to kill Roche with. I don't think I've seen it done like this. If ever, then at least not for quite a while. It doesn't come to mind as a classic combo. It's pretty smart though. These all the zombies take 2 hits each, so you just let them stack up a little bit and then go for it.
Straight into the fight. You just got the Aegis Immortal. Nice terrorize. Pugna's gonna fall, and FY just goes in deep. Sumail will fall too. Arteezy wants to fight. Remember, he doesn't have Blink Dagger. This happened so early on that the Blink Dagger is coming, but it's coming on the Courier. So they weren't fully ready to engage, but Sumail felt an opportunity.
Well, again, I'll repeat myself from before. It's something.
It's something.
But LGD are going to need a lot more of this. Now, Haunt is going to come off cooldown in 15 seconds time. If Ame stays alive, he looks okay. S4 did not want to commit to that one. He had no Scarabs ready. He had Swarm
without the Swarm, it's not a kill.
It's a kill with the Swarm, probably. But, yeah.
Observers and Sentries give him so much confidence on this bottom lane. Able to Shuchi away before the Brambles having its effect on him.
I think they should just deny this tower.
Wow,
it
Fly
will
just
fall
goes
inevitably.
in.
But they're baiting them, actually.
They get rid of the Observer. What? Fly. Well, okay, goodbye, Clinks. And Exnova has to take to the sky. Down and away from Fly's Tombstone. FY can take the farm if he wants to. And Clinks didn't just feel like he felt safe inside of his base, but that was the reveal of the Blink Dagger from Arteezy. Good pick off to get with it. And S4 just wants this tower. Cursed Crown stun. S4 gets away, and the tower will be denied up by Ame. And they'll have to deny up the middle tower as well. Arteezy's creep skipping on the top, but the mid tower, the blast, 18 HP, killed off by Pugna. They're losing so much real estate now, LGD.
That's 1 tower left. Minute 15, they have 1 tower left. And they're probably going to lose all 4 bounty runes again here. Or maybe not, they can at least fight for this one.
Yeah, you got a little bit of help in the form of Pugna. Only gets a blast off.
Oh, they got one.
They got one. And there's still 2 up on top. But Arteezy's making his way over for it now.
Yeah, he's probably going to grab both of these. It looks like LGD are interested in taking a fight bottom still.
I don't know how you do it. Like, it's a level 7 spec. He's about to hit level 8. 1 point up in dispersion. It feels so weak. Like, FY's level 10. This is this is your carry.
Yep, he has Vessel soon. So that's cool.
That's something. That's something.
This game is still within the realm of possibility, but EG need to drop the ball big time, take 1 or 2 bad fights. And then if Spectre comes back, they'll be fine. But
they have their opportunity on bottom. They have Dust available as well. S4's going to reveal himself into a Terrorize, so no time lapse available. But with the Spectral Haunt, they ensure the kill. Fly was in the neighborhood. Ame's trying to run over there. But they focus the Tombstone to begin with. But while this is going on, Crit's taking the top tier 2 tower. So no matter how much LGD commit to getting something on this map, there's always the trade-off from EG.
It costs. But it's still a big kill to get that Weaver. Who got the last hit on it?
Goodbye, Xnova. Oh, he gets a curse.
Yep, goodbye indeed. It's just going to fly away. Good call.
I don't know if he can. Crit dies in the meantime. Nice searing arrows from Somnus, finding Fly, and he really just lays into him. But Dark Willow dies up on the top lane. Samael once again strikes. Haystroom, Blink Dagger. And he's practically finished up his Echo Saber. I say practically, he's short by 200.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to solo kill 3 of the heroes on the dire side, I think. If Clinks doesn't have a creep, he dies. Wyvern definitely dies. Actually, Willow has a lot of health. He might not be able to one-shot the Willow if the Shadow Realm is ready. It's gonna be a close call.
Once the Spirit Vessel's done, and then he can move into the Eul Scepter, then it's even more disable and control.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer.
Baby steps here for LGD right now, I think. One thing at a time.
He's like the only one finding kills in these fights because he comes in with such high burst damage. Like, there's still 360 max damage from the Shadow Realm. But that tilts over a lot of these heroes.
It's still, it doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't feel like the game is over. It's, out of many games we've had with a 10k lead at this time, this feels like one of the ones that is the most in reach. And the reason it is that LGD has really good team fight and strong late game. So if EG mess up,
if they can continuously get these pickoffs like we've seen LGD doing, like mid lane, Dark Willow gets attacked and he's going to go into the Shadow Realm, gets the Cursed Crown onto S4. And there's a lot of heroes from EG there. Like, this is happening while Arme's farming up the bottom lane. And he still doesn't know what he wants to build. Like, yeah, you'd love a Radiant. I think he probably still needs the Blade Mail, but does he even survive long enough to make the Blade Mail useful? Mid lane, there's your jump. So FY thought he was fine, but Samel kills him.
Alright, he still kills him. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Ame does, because I think it's very telling of their mentality in the game. When you're in this stage with Spectre, Spectre's item says what the whole team is thinking. Or they don't talk to each other and he just buys whatever he wants. But more than likely, they're talking.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And
how do we build this?
Blade Mail means we want to try to fight now and get something done and hope EG takes a bad fight where the Blade Mail makes the difference. Radiance is, alright, full turtle mode. We're going to play super defensively until we get ready, and then we'll try to take a fight.
That decision may also just be based on how EG played the tempo. Because at the moment, he's just waiting for money. X-Nova's got the Observer and Sentry up on top. Fly triggers off the dust. They're looking for Somnus. That's why Samel's got the double damage room, but Nova, he can probably cold embrace. No, he can't!
Double damage on Tiny is always funny to see.
Ooh, Clinks having the life force drained out of him. Somnus will be able to finish his TP. And Arteezy's hoping for a jump in towards the mid onto Chalice, but that will not be coming to fruition.
Chalice is getting his big item soon. The Blink Dagger is a game changer in this game. If they will be able to change it, that will be the item that does it. They need a good epicenter. They have the setup for it. They have the Curse, the Winter's Curse, and they have the Terrorize that can possibly set him up for great epis, so it is doable.
Where are you off to, Crit? He's actually coming in through the bottom, but Somnus has the information with the Observer Ward. That's why they're trying to run over and try and kill off Samel, but Somnus, he can just go after Fly. That's the easier pick-off. Terrorize, well off target. Samel's already running away. No, it's actually on target.
Now he's running the other way for 1 second.
Back under the Sentry Ward. They saw S4 arrive. And they need to move further up, but this is the vision around EG. They have the Observer and Sentry up. Here comes Sand King. Blink Dagger is intact. Time-lapse already being used by the Weaver, and he actually has information onto Chalice. Now, no one's there to cop the epicenter. Finally gets one pulse and a Burrow Strike into Ursa, but it's an enraged Ursa, and he's running out of teammates to do the damage. Sand King, yeah, he knows. He's in range, barely. And goodbye. 3 heroes down without buyback, probably about to be 4. In fact, it is. S4 gets the chase down onto FY. And the one man who's still alive with 2.9k gold has a decision to make.
He's going Radiance, I'm pretty sure, at this point.
I don't know if he can. Like, if they push high ground now...
If he wanted a combat item, he would have bought it before this fight. This was a really important fight, and it's very telling that he didn't buy Yasha or Blade Mail.
He's out so far. He's trying to find the farm. Everyone's dead. Fly and S4 rotate over, so start with the K. They get the swarm onto him, so the armor is starting to drop. He's got 8 wand charges. They'll come under the tower with the minions to fight with it. So he'll get rid of the beetle to start with, and the curse from X-Nova. Create space, get rid of the bloody skeleton, turns around and Fly is very, very low. Chalice, the Burrow Strike comes in. S4's forced to time-lapse out. They do lose Fly once more. That's now his 8th death of the game. While in mid lane, Clinks is being chased down. Arteezy and Crit working together, but Somnus, he's got the legs on him. Doesn't have the meat, but has the legs. Because they're only bones.
EG are still building their advantage more and more and more. They got all the 20-minute bounty runes, I believe, so that's another big influx.
Yeah.
But they haven't managed to kill Ami more than once this game, and that's kind of the saving grace for LGD right now, is that the Spectre, it feels like they have something to hold on to. If he does get there, it will be big. Arteezy gets the bash.
He's looking for it.
And
Somnus,
Terrorize.
he moves up, he turns around, and Enrage is going to wear off, and they just rip him apart. Hey, Somnus got the kill. It wasn't FY, but S4's taking tier 3 tower bottom lane.
It would have been really good for them if Ami got that kill. That would almost have been... That would have been the
It would have
relic.
been the relic. But they
And
give him
half
the
the way
bottom
to
lane
Radiance.
farm instead.
EG, I mean... It feels weird saying this because conceptually almost every game is totally over at this point, but I feel like they still need to be a bit careful. They're getting a little bit reckless. They're giving away quite a lot of kills. They're splitting up maybe a little bit too much or not reinforcing the correct heroes. And LGD, when their cooldowns are ready, they find a kill here, they find a kill there, they get a Radiance, and then one bad team fight. That's all I'm saying. One bad team fight. If LGD cut this lead from 13k down to 7...
Fly gets out of
It's
the
still
bramble.
doable.
He was doing some counter warding, and Observer Sentry's down. EG has all the information. They do burn Tombstone. Charles, the tree toss, it connects. He's got Burrow Strike off cooldown, and he's got to use it right now to get the distance away from the blast. And oh no, the Centaur!
I couldn't blink because of one Tombstone zombie.
Yep, it stayed on his tail the
Oh,
whole
damn.
way.
And it got the kill in the end, too. Oh, that
It wasn't
stings.
even the Centaur. Like, the Centaur could have denied it.
Yeah.
But a one Tombstone worth
One
of damage
Tombstone,
and
yeah.
say goodbye to X-Nova. It has not been his day. 0-6-6.
They got to press the advantage here. They could get a possible lane of Rax or at the minimum this tier 3 tower.
No fortification available.
Nope.
That tower's one hit away from death. Tiny just has to be in range to toss something at it. And they've got it, so maybe it's worth a denial from LGD.
A lot of respect being shown there by Sumail. Not going for the last hit on the tower in that situation.
Oh, they actually didn't deny it. FY had every opportunity to do so.
He could have definitely tried for it. But blast from crit. He's also blasting out mid now, starting to deal serious damage to these range barracks in that mid lane.
Somnus is looking for the kill on him. His skeleton walk will wear off. And already back at Roshan, crit Arteezy and Fly doing what they do good. Back in again, and boom, goodbye Roshan. Cheese for S4.
Yep.
Aegis for Arteezy.
S4 looks to be building in toward a Lincoln Sphere against the Sanking Stun. It's been a pretty annoying mess to deal with for him this game, so if he can solve that issue, he will have to be Splinter Blasted first, or they have to break the Lincolns with Curse or Cursed Crown, and that's already a key spell out of the window just in order to land a Sanking Stun, so probably feels pretty good about buying this item in this situation. Ame again.
Yeah, the Observer and Sentry saw S4 coming over, and he will TP out of the tree line unless Sumail goes for blind, but Blink is on cooldown,
Okay,
so
so
we can't reach him.
here's the challenge for Ame.
Uh-huh.
How do you buy the relic?
Oh, hello, Arteezy. Potentially goodbye, Arteezy. Never able to enrage. They break the Aegis Immortal for little to no cost.
Yeah, that cost him nothing.
And double TP's out. Arteezy, he'll need a first hit. Bash. Never even got a paw swipe.
Need a hit to begin
No.
with.
They found a target. It's going to be the pug, no? And no, they don't. They didn't find anything.
I'm so, like, how does Spectre? Oh, wait, they used the enemy courier, or the yeah, okay, sure, the enemy shop.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. They bribed the enemy courier. Hey, man,
It's flying over the Radiant Obs and Sentry. I think the ping came up from LGD. It's like, yo, guys, they can see that.
I give
We
you
know
a piece
they
of
have
fish, and
vision.
you get me this relic, okay?
Avalanche toss.
That is
Don't
fine.
get the toss.
He is fine, actually. There's no more detection.
S4 is looking for a better target, or the easier target, which is X-Nova. One hit with an extra spray of the arc. And he drops by 50%.
20,000 gold. Well, according to Dota
I've-
Plus, Toby, it's a 94% win rate now for the Radiant side, so
You know,
it's definitely...
It was 18% 3 minutes ago.
What was it, 80?
It was 18%.
Oh,
in
for the
favor-
Dire.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Dire.
Yep. Those bounty runes, man, and that Aegis, which they kind of didn't get to use for anything, but still have a cheese. Makes a big difference for the prediction for this game. But once this Radiance lands,
Oh, God. They have a BKB onto Arteezy.
that is a very big item this game.
He looks totally unstoppable if he jumps. And you've even got a Dagon level 1 on the Pugna. They're
have-
just going to nuke everything down. And a double damage on a Tiny. Sure, why not? Everything, including the kitchen sink and the jump forward. He goes for it. There's that BKB. And deleting FY from the game. You'll have to buy it back, but that's that 10-second BKB. Wears off in 1. Fortification keeping their racks alive. The double damage from Summel. So there's another 10 seconds left. And now FY terrorizes. Get the hell out of my home is what he's trying to say. Charles is waiting. Blinks in. Burrow Strike catches out on two. Needs to back off once again. He didn't bring in the Epicenter and fly in so deep. They'll get rid of both the Tombstone plus the Undying. LGD's Rax is alive, but S4 back in again underneath the Sentry Ward. They'll take the range and they'll look for the melee. Good Burrow Strike. S4, he's got cheese. He'll use that first. Not the time lapse and just Shikuchi's through Chalice to find the kill. Double kill for Somnus. So there was the revenge before the time lapse was used. But a full lane of Rax on the bottom. The range Rax lost in mid. LGD's home is in trouble, but hilariously enough, only a 20k advantage remains after that.
The only hero they bought back was the Dark Willow, so they didn't really lose much in the way of gold, but they lost a lot in the way of potential gold now, because these lane creeps are going to be really annoying, less valuable. So, well,
yeah.
I think a big thing in that fight for LGD was just... Oh, hang on.
Nice timing. They're going to drop the Nether Ward, but that's...
He's dead.
That's...
Yeah,
okay.
Did you know that Pugna has 5 armor if it doesn't buy any items that give armor? And you die. Oh, speaking of that was a really quick reaction from FY.
Yeah,
but
he's inside the Bramble
he's
too.
still
Maybe he can get a root onto Ursa, but he can't outrun it. The slow.
So the fight in the Dire base, what was really important for EG was that Arteezy got such a good jump. He got the first quick kill with the Basher, and he forced Sankin completely away. So he kind of got a kill and a half almost in terms of that fight. Wyvern was not in the base. I was going to say, that's the counter they have to this BKB Ursa, is to try to curse him. Either curse him during Enrage, or curse him next to the Tiny, who had the double damage. But Wyvern was not in position. And Somnus was out in the jungle eating a creep with Death Pact. So actually, LGD were just not ready. They were not even in position to defend that lane of barracks.
Somnus, I think he just got himself a free kill. And he sees Fly. He reacted a little bit slower to it, so Fly can come underneath the tier 1 tower for safety. But it's a little bit more blind on the map for Evil Geniuses. Their wards starting to time out. They actually don't... In fact, if I see correctly, they don't have a single Observer ward on the field. Just a couple of sentries, but at least they can see where Chalice is. The Curse is there. Tiny will do almost no damage to Arteezy. So a Curse being wasted. And no follow-up because they already put the Lincoln Sphere onto the Ursa.
Yeah, that's a pretty key cooldown, actually. This Curse is going to be important in the coming fight for LGD to try to hold on.
They're coming high ground.
Yep, they're going in.
Spectral Dagger. There's a melee Rax in the mid. Klinks is just cutting through.
First tower of the game!
Yeah, doing it in Klink style. Back behind the creep wave. No backdoor protection for tier 1 towers available. And they even have the fortification to slow it down. And FY, nuked, gone, deleted.
Key kill again. Finding FY like they have with Arteezy and Sumail in these situations really opens up the fight a lot.
Yep. Somnus really wants to go. There's your Burrow Strike. Lincoln Sphere triggers instantly, and Arteezy capitalizes. Somnus, he's protected by the Cold Embrace, but they're draining out the magical damage. The protection does not last. The melee Rax is gone now, and they're rotating towards the top. EG, the slow march to a 2-0 victory over LGD.
Klinks has buyback, and Willow is up in 15. This is their absolute last chance at the fight. Curse will be available when Willow spawns. EG, what do they have? No Aegis, no Cheese, and no BKB on Arteezy, so they might still respect this and just back off.
They're going to be so happy about this.
Get all 4 bounties again.
Klinks' Scythe is so heavily delayed because of this now.
Yeah, that's a really big buyback to expend.
That's why they were giving him space. That's why they had him out in the Radiant jungle farming up. They want to have his Hex. They want to have something against this Ursa warrior that they can lock him down before the BKB takes effect. And it's just taking forever to reach it.
Yep.
Same thing with Arme. Like, he's... Like, it feels confident for him to try and go for a Manta style here.
I think at this point with Spectre, you have to be ambitious.
Yeah.
You gotta get the most cost-effective item that you can get, and the Manta is... I mean, maybe you could buy a smaller item like a Blade Mail, but Blade Mail sucks against Ursa. That's the problem. Else I think he would buy it. But it's like... Ursa enrages, hits you, doesn't care. Takes like almost no damage during enrage, so you probably have to get this. What is the next item I can get that has like good components and will really change my game? And the Manta is that item, and the Yasha is that value.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else you should buy. I don't see anything better, to be honest. There's nothing that will do what a Manta will this game.
Definitely seems rough. Roshan's going to spawn up potentially soon. 37 seconds until the possible spawn time. Radiant already burning their scan, feeling the people are sitting up on the hill. The scan did trigger on Somnus. But the Spec is making the most of it. This is her strength, right? You can join the fight from anywhere on the field, which means you can be very, very efficient with your farm timing. And EG, maybe they don't have the timer because he doesn't even possibly spawn for 15 seconds. They're looking real early.
Yep.
Meanwhile, bottom
That's a
lane,
bit
you've
weird.
got Chalice as well as FY running escort.
They feel like they've had enough. They're just going to go top. Well, going to be some good damage coming in from the Nether Blast. It gets pinged out, so they do know that crit is here, and defense needs to come in quickly. This is going
It's arriving for FY. They
relatively
need to clean up
fast.
the mid lane.
Tombstone
The mid
for
lane
vision.
creeps allowed them to just work it out, and there's your jump in! Wyvern has to instantly buy it back. The Curse Crown is on RTZ, so he'll be stunned off as his Enrage wears off. Chalice, the Terrorize, trying to force RTZ to run back in. They put the Lincoln Sphere on him as well as the life from crit. So all sustain in the world. The tower is 12 HP, but RTZ focuses on the kill. Then the tower. So Spec goes down, buy back. Now you go into the Spectral Horn in the back lines. The Pugner is so low, the Radiance Burn was able to find the kill there. Crit sacrificed all of his life to give more Samel. S4. They walk. Nice, quick Shadow Realm. Somnus was giving extra information. Then the Bramble. They look over towards Fly with the dust as well. Nowhere to really hide in this. And Fly, well, they give him the Lincoln Sphere. They try and protect him, but the Curse Crown, it does not block it. So they'll kill off the Death Tombstone. Take the 2 hero kills. And Roshan opens up. Your tier 4 towers are taking damage, but right now you can't let him have Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Orb, and Somnus has the double damage rune. Swarm will come in. EG need to be able to contest this epicenter. Chalice, I'm waiting for it. The Burrow Strike comes forward, but then the curse. It's only Weaver beating into an enraged Ursa, and Samel hits the backlines onto Somnus. LGD, I thought for a moment they had it, but I thought wrong. LGD, they actually get a couple of kills. I don't think wrong. FY in through the rear. And Arme strong enough to stand his ground and fight. Maybe not for much longer. S4 still alive and Crit just Dagons him. Remember me? I'm part of this game too. Four heroes down for LGD.
What an absolute mess that fight was.
Yeah, I want to watch that back in
Complete chaos.
slow motion. What the hell just happened?
You know, Wyvern has really good intentions with that curse, and it kind of has to curse, I think, because else if he doesn't curse, the Spectre just dies, but I think he chose the wrong target.
Oh god. Crit's coming in for the racks. The tier 4 towers are going down because they knew it. They knew they had to commit so heavily to try and contest Roshan. It was that or the game was bust. And it's easy work for Crit, as well as S4. No one to really defend it. He'll Burrow Strike through. The Tombstone's down for Fly. He can terrorize them back. Defensive Yule Scepter, actually. Oh, okay. Dagon does a great job. You can say goodbye to the SK, and I think this game is done.
He cast Epicenter under the Nether Ward. That hurts
Yeah.
quite a lot, too. Yep, that's Megas. What does Mr. Joda Plus say? 99%, Toby. There's still hope.
Is there 100% when the Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher all go to Arteezy, which he's now going to
I would
now?
say that probably pushes it to 100. We'll see. I'm curious about this.
watch the bar? Watch the
the
birdie.
bar.
Somnus is still dreaming. He needs 600 gold to get 500 gold to get his scythe.
91. Alright, sorry, 99. 91? They lost 10% chance of getting...
Well, there they go.
Oh.
He can sell off his scythe. Oh, he can kill Fly. He can kill Fly.
Not anymore.
Yeah, okay, not anymore. He's coming way too close towards S4.
Yeah, that hurts.
Hex is up. Now's the time.
I got Hex, guys.
The dream. The dream is a reality.
Oh, they
All
do
right.
a buyback on the Willow.
S4's underneath the sentry ward. And the Observer, they have good information. They do not have Epicenter. And they almost didn't have Arme. Blink forward from Arteezy. Looking for his target. Jump into the back lines. And there's Clinks. And the damage. They still don't kill off the Pugner. They'll Soul Rip him back up. Somnus is on the run. The Terrorize. He'll buy a little bit of space. But Tiny, actually the Curse Crown. Somnus is able to outrun this. Chalice, of course, did die for the cause. Undying. Oh, Arteezy, stop hitting him. Too late. X-Nova lets the Splinter Blast go. So Undying will buy back to be part of this fight once more. Samael did actually go down to FY, but the throne is under attack. Somnus, you can't sit. He's trying to get the Death Pact so he can come back out and come back in and try and fight. They're trying to get rid of the Nether Ward too. Arteezy, Curse Crown's on him. Somnus. All right. Well, he finds another target. That's the dieback of Undying. He won't get back into this engagement. But so much time is wasted. The game is done. They're delaying the inevitable. GG, well played. A 2-0 victory for Evil Geniuses, and that is the dream run for them in this group stage. They now go 9-1 for Group A, and they push them down even harder.
They look like they have a lot of good solutions and a lot of good ideas and just know how to play lanes. And I would say out of the games we've cast together, I think this game is almost the perfect example of how much you can win lanes and how much it can matter. Because I think EG built a really serious early on. LGD took some pretty good fights, actually. They just had... The game is so hard, man. Like, from minute 10, this game is so hard.
It's like, why does my draft hurt me so hard?
Yeah, you need to do everything right. You need to wait. You need to avoid ganks. You need to see moments. You need to accept that you lose Roche 3 times in a row. Like, you have almost no tools to work with, and it feels like LGD just got that little bit too greedy. I think the Klinks pick, again, is what I want to come back to, because they opened with Spectre, which is a greedy safe lane carry that needs space, needs time to get online and get something done. I think you need a faster pace mid. I think you need a classic maybe hero. Get him one of his heroes that, like, I guess Storm was banned. But, you know, that type of hero.
There's still other options in the pool.
Get stuff done,
Yeah. Anyway.
They could have picked him a Tiny.
That would have been nice. I think anything would have been nice than what we really got at the end of the day.
They still fought.
They fought very valiantly.
They fought very hard. And even you could hear I was being genuine. Like, I was looking at that game. They're 15k down. It looks really hard, but it's doable. It was doable. Almost all the way until the end. They
started coming back. Like Klinks started getting picks. At least Klinks was a factor in this game. Unlike game 1, Klinks actually did something. But you're right. It's like everyone was trying to wait for something to happen, and they were never setting the tempo of the game. It was EG. It was their push. It was Pugner attacking. It was Ursa being aggressive. It was just EG's game.
And it was a 20-minute, I think it was a 20-minute Blink Dagger on Sand King as a core. That's generally a relatively poor timing as a support in the past.
I think we know the real call was the Dark Willow.
That was the Dark Willow.
It was 100% the Dark Willow.
It actually hurt them a bit that Dark Willow got so many kills. They needed the gold on the cores. They actually really needed those items. Imagine that bottom lane, Sand King gets 2 of the kills instead of Willow. Maybe that's a 15-minute Dagger. And who knows? Like, he was needed to set up the fights. It came online way too late. And EG play lanes very well. Great aggressive drafting, really. The moment they see a core that they can counter, they counter it, counter the next one, play super aggressive in lanes, super aggressive in the game. Well-deserved 2-0. They were clearly better in this series.
Well, EG take it. We get to come back in just a bit. Sint and I will stay with you to the very end of the day as we... All right. Team Secret versus VG Gaming coming up next.